that point, we have that.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Alright guys, let me know if you can hear me. Let's go ahead and get this thing started here.
What up, Ponzi?
What up, what up? So for anybody in Discord, if you want to go on mute for now, and then I'm going to go ahead and get this thing rolling. I should be on Twitter and on YouTube. If you guys want, go ahead and drop a follow or retweet if you're on Twitter, and then if you're on YouTube, feel free to subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'm going to start doing these videos a lot more. For the Discord members, for anybody in there, we're going to be streaming 4 to 5 times a week, starting this week and going through all of summer. So jump in there if you're not, or jump in there and catch the free ones if you want, or the ones on Twitter. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I'm going to start with an overview. Going to look over Bitcoin and like total. I went over this yesterday for a few people in the Discord. I'm going to touch on it soon, so if you guys already were in the Discord and saw this yesterday, feel free to fast forward in the video past this. If not, here we are. Just overview. This is a chart. A lot of you guys, if you follow me, you've seen it for a while. We've measured out every cycle. Top of cycle, 1,477 days. Top of cycle to top of cycle, 1,428 days. Top of cycle to potential another top of cycle. Let's say if it stays true, we're looking around 1,428 to 1,477. So on the short side of it, we're looking at cycle top around October 2025, give or take that 50 days from here. So Q4 is definitely the area you want to look for a potential cycle top to come in. So that means if on the short side of it, if we continue, we have about a half a year before we put in a cycle top. A lot of stuff can happen in half a year. A ton of stuff, especially on altcoins. If you go look back at altcoins, some altcoins, it only takes like 2-3 months for them to fucking 20x. So a lot of things can happen real quick. We're cutting it close though to past cycles and previous cycles, where we need action to start happening soon. So we're going to have to wait and see if we're going to get it, but for now, just based on history, this is what we should be expecting. And just from bottom to bottom, same thing, 1428 days, bottom to bottom, 1428 days. So if the same thing happens, bottom to bottom, we look to bottom 2026, October, November time. Which means next year might be a pretty bad year, unless you're trading it and you're hitting Alt-I on your charts and you want to inverse it. Each bear market has been around 364 days to 400 days. So this was 406. This one was 364 days exactly. The past one was 364 days exactly. So exactly a year, a little bit over a year. So that's just overall breaking down time with the charts and how long it's taken from top to top, bottom to bottom, top to bottom, and then so on. I mean, we can even measure from bottom to top, which that's one thing I actually don't have on here, but yeah, let's give it a shot. 1,057 days. It's a long, slow grind up, huh? 1,057-ish. $1,057-ish. So we are, everything is points to like October, November. But that should make sense, right? You take your 1428 minus a year, which is where you have your bear market. All right, cool. That's Bitcoin. That's the overview. That just shows how much time that I expect that we have to really kick this thing into gear. The closer we get with price still dropping, then that's going to be red flags, you know what I mean? But it is showing it's go time, or it needs to be go time. So that's another reason I'm going to be streaming a lot more here. Total. This has been very important to me if you guys follow me as well. Total market cap, just looking at this rising wedge that we have. Cup and handle, you go on a monthly. I mean, dude, it's very clear. You have monthly level. Cup, handle, broke out, come back, you hook and retest. That's what I like to call this when you break out of something, your hook, and then retest go. So that's what I'm seeing. Yes, we wick down a little bit farther past the trend that we have, right? But nothing's really bad here at all, especially when you're looking at a monthly. If you're going to have a monthly of April close above 2.62 trillion, which is these monthly levels here with the candle closes, and we're respecting the fuck out of that. I mean, look at this. The last monthly closed right at it, and then this monthly is, yeah, wicked below, but it's trying to close above to put in the body of the candle there. And if we can do that, this looks pretty fucking bullish, in my opinion. You filled the entire monthly fair value gap, came down into this order block here on the monthly, tapped it perfectly, and then if we go, we go. I mean, this is what we're working with, and I mean, it could happen quick, right? Like, we have until November, October based on the chart, right? So if we go, this could potentially go back up and test this top up here in this area in the next few months, like right around here. And it could be some big announcements or something that comes out or something, but we could see like a few X's on total market cap if this does play out. It could definitely not play out, right? We could get a move up, we could come down, we could fail. But that's gonna change as these monthly candles change and time evolves, and you can actually see and react to the market, right? You can always have a plan, but if you're gonna have a plan, play it. But if stuff is changing in your plan, know when to pull out and change it. All right, bet. So this is total. So far, doing what we want. It did go a little bit lower than expected. We were looking for, I bid personally 2.62 trillion. when it came down here the first time. I think I got some few things like cheaper, all that, but some of it I did go underwater for a second, but I do expect this level to hold on the monthly. That's the level I was looking at. If you go back into January, I had a tweet about it saying, hey, like, I think I was looking at, I don't know, it might have been the weekly or the monthly. It was the monthly, I think. And price was up here back in like January. And I said, hey, we can come down. We can fill this fair value gap. We can retest this monthly at 2.62. That's where you want to bid. That's the last spot you bid. You walk away for the rest of the cycle. Yes, you can chase stuff maybe if you want down the road or play rotations and all that, but this is where you really have to lock in. You have to get your bid set, consolidate into your positions, and then enjoy the rest of it. Like it could happen in a short time. You want to be positioned. You don't want to have no position and chase. But that's what I've been looking at, what I'm seeing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm in, and I'm gonna hold it. I do think we're gonna move. Then we can go look at, I mean, even on the daily here. So I had it hidden on the weekly, but there is a bullish bat harmonic on total market cap that completed at the 886 down here. The bat is between 382 and a point 0.5, plus or minus 5% for margin of error for this. 886 max, but I mean, that is just one tiny ass wick. I think this is still valid here in my eyes. In Scott Carney's software eyes, it is valid as well. Even if we use this low and came down a smidge lower, he has that one pinned potentially too. But minimal target for this, as we know, is a 382 and then a 618. And if you guys remembered, I had this lined up here all the way down along the trend. Maybe it's not like exactly perfect. I can move it up just a smidge if I need. So we have it touching. But if you're yeah, see, a little bit too much. But I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. But I am anal about this stuff sometimes. So you're touching the trend there, all the way back at the beginning. And what we do? We dip below it, and now we're trying to reclaim back above it right now, currently. Why is this important? Because if we go back and look at BTC now, on a daily, what's happening with BTC right now? We have a bullish crab pattern, which I can put TPs for that here for you guys. Three eight two 618, and then obviously 1618, which is like around 130k. But those are your TPs. And what are we doing? We're breaking out past this trend here. I'm on log scale now, but let me get off a log scale. So we have a trend that's been downwards, and resistance, 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 wick down after that. And what are we doing now? We broke above, we're consolidating. We have had multiple days where we just consolidated here. People were expecting it to drop again, but it hasn't. We can actually look here as well. And what do we notice here? This is important on the RSI, on the daily. We have broken above the 50, and we've been consolidating above it. And we're starting to curve up. At the same time we're doing that, we have broken out past the trend, and we also, on total, if you guys remember, we had our trend line up. We tapped here, later on we tapped here, and we came back up here. We deviated, we broke up above, we're retesting, and now we can potentially go. So we have a retest after we deviated below, where we're back above now, at the same time that we have Bitcoin breaking out of the trend line here, and that we have Bitcoin breaking above the 50 on the daily RSI. Why is that important? Because the last time we broke above, even if it's going to be a smaller pump, right? But like every time we break above it, we do have a decent sized pump. Broke above, broke above, broke above, broke above, I could say like right around this area we broke above it too. But I mean, if you just go back and look, when we start to break above them, we do have pumps. So they have led to pumps. Pump, pump, pump. Given whether it's going to be smaller or bigger, we can go to a weekly now. And on the weekly, this is what's really interesting here. When's the last time that we've had a hidden bullish divergence, right? It was here. And now we're just having triple hidden bullish divergence on a weekly, which is fucking insane. But let me just get rid of this for a second. Object tree. All right, so we had a smaller hidden bullish divergence here. For some of you guys might be asking like what a hidden bullish divergence is, but if you're looking at this, you have a higher low. So this did not go down past this, but on your oscillator here, you had a lower low. So just by looking at this, they couldn't push price down past it, but their momentum did, right? But sellers could not push it down. So that creates a hidden bullish divergence. These are some of my favorite to trade. They show continuation in the market. Now, like on a much higher time frame here, it's just massive. We also were forming another hidden bullish divergence here. Oh, fuck. And you can see it here. Upward sloping, downward sloping. They're the opposite. But price has remained above. Bears trying to push the price down. You have your Stochc RSI completely reset. This could be a lot of room for upwards. You have a hidden bullish divergence on RSI and on the MACD histogram on the weekly. While you have a bullish harmonic here, while you filled the inefficiencies in the fair value gaps on the weeklies here, and so on. So in my eyes, this looks like it could be setting up for a pretty big move here. You have the reclaim happening, you have the breakout happening. Are we going to chop around a little bit? Maybe. But this is showing basically that everything's looking pretty good here. For everybody that's watching on Twitter, or if you're not, if you want to retweet the video, that'd be much appreciated, just so we can get some more people watching this thing. Because I think this is pretty important for a lot of people to see. All right. So those are just important things to watch with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to show the overall market and lead the overall market. So that's what I wanted to look at for Bitcoin. All right. One more thing I want to look at. This is Bitcoin over the NASDAQ. I've really been liking to look at this chart because it shows all of basically the tech industry with stocks and everything. But Bitcoin over it and just how it's performed versus the NASDAQ, just in a whole. So we had this Gartley originally, 618, 786, fucking beautiful, right? We created the bottom. I posted this back in 2022, 2023. And then we had a breakout here. And this chart is just so clean, like to know when Bitcoin's going to outperform like NASDAQ and other tech. Perfect retest. Then what? We have a monthly order block here, turn in breaker block. We retest the mid again perfectly, and we're breaking out above this again. So, in my opinion, this chart is just very clean to look at. And I mean, even another perfect retest here. So I just wanted to show you guys this because I was looking at this chart yesterday, and I was like, wow, this fucking looks good. We could really take off here and kind of decouple from some of these things, at least for a little bit. This is just Bitcoin over the world money supply, so this still looks pretty good. All right. I'm gonna go over the dollar just for a little bit. With all the nonsense, I'm not a macroeconomic guy or anything like that, but this is the bearish bat harmonic that we've had for years now. I'll continue bringing this up because we are in a bearish harmonic for the dollar, and we have not hit our minimum retracement of a 382. We're getting very close to it the last 3 months since Trump's taken office, where the dollar has been collapsing a little bit. But I do expect at the minimal 382, 97.9, and we also are set up for a Gartley here. And if this extends into a grab pattern, we're looking for a potential like 886 pullback on the dollar, which, I mean, this could be brutal in the future if this does happen. Like, we'd probably lose our... I don't know. I mean, look at '08. This is when the dollar was fucking low as shit, right? That's when we had our crisis. That's when the last recession, everything happened. Like, that's back in '08, right? When we're at these type of levels. God forbid we get a nice little bull run towards the end of the year. I'm telling you guys, the end of this year, you sell everything, in my opinion. I think it's going to be bearish as fuck. Like, usually, you guys know I'm not a massive bear, but this end of the year, I really do think it's time. Like, I think I'm going to kind of try to start clean and see if I can pick up some cheap properties and shit. But in the meantime, this is what we're looking at. Potentially, I think we probably get a reaction off the 786 here. But we're going to have to watch it, right? Like, let's just see what happens. I mean, there's probably some type of trend or something that we're looking at and losing. And I can look at this more in the future if you guys really want to look at it. But minimal 382, potentially 618 here. Sweep these two lows on the dollar before we start getting some momentum. So it might get ugly first, right? Maybe we come down, we take a little bounce, we come back up, we fill this monthly fair value gap, and then we fall a little bit more. Let's look at, I'm going to look at Doge, just like some of the main ones that I have marked off, just for starters. And then from there, we'll go into a couple of the ones I want to look at, and then any requests. If you guys have any requests, post them in Discord, in the VC chat, or you can post it in YouTube if you're watching from YouTube in the channel, or on Twitter, just comment on the post. Or if you're in Twitter, I would advise you click on the link I posted today with the Discord. Just join it, go into the free section. Feel free to come off mic and ask a question as well, so we can be interactive that way. Okay, so Doge. If you guys remember, Doge was one that I posted. Hold on, let me see if I can just pull it up. I'll put it on the screen for you. We're going to talk about what we had planned in the past and what has happened, and then what we're looking at now for in the future. So Doge. This is what we had in the past. This was back on August 29th when price was down here. Alright, so we had price down here. We had a harmonic. We had the harmonic going up to 32 cents minimum. So right around here, right? That was a 1618 extension of this Gartley pattern that we had. Now we came all the way back down, right? And we have a pretty much like a pennant here. We broke out. We're kind of consolidating here. We swept this last previous low. Lower time frame, you probably have another little area that you're going to probably want to look to see if we can break out of. Right here. So if we break out of this, we might start to move. But what's important here? Most of the consolidations around the 0.5 here, we did have one wick below. And this goes to an 886, so I am looking for this 886 level to be the potential reversal zone where you're going to see Doge reverse around this price. That's 14.6 if you guys want to try to get a bid in around there. But minimal targets for this, we're looking for Doge back to 26 cents from here, minimum, potentially 34, and even higher if the cycle continues. God forbid they bring in like X payments or something to Doge. Like, yes, this could have been a B point for a much bigger move in the future. It's a 616 there. Pretty much 786 pullback, and then you would be looking for a 786 if you wanted to complete like this large Gartley on Doge. So that's a level you can mark off in the future. Oh, let's go back to that. This is just very high time frame, right guys? It's not going to happen overnight. I'm just giving you macro targets here as well based on the harmonic patterns. So that's around 59 cents. So we have the bat pattern. We had the previous Gartley. On the monthly, you filled the fair value gap that was down here. You had a fair value gap that got completely filled. Let me zoom in for that. So you can see this area, the space in between this wick and this wick, this open area of the candle that got retested. You filled that in balance, and now you can go back up. So Doge is one to watch. I mean, it's still in a fantastic area to bid. As you guys know, I prefer spot. I will start probably leverage trading a little bit more soon. I think it is time to lever up on a few things. Obviously, be responsible. In my opinion, I'm just going to use low leverage like I typically do. Maybe there will be some trades where I'm just going to be a degen, but that's up to you. But yeah, this is what I'm looking at. We have this downward sloping thing. We have a minimum take profit of 26 cents from here, which is pretty much a 2x. Carney Software has a smidge higher. I think he has it pinned from here. 27 cents, 35 cents. I'm going to front run those a little bit. And that's what you're looking at for Doge. So overall, it's great setups. Like I really think this looks good. I think this is one that's huge. You can put a little bit more sized money in this, feel more comfortable than just buying those pump fund shitters and losing all your money. If you want to, like, most likely a higher percentage chance to make 2x your money and you have a larger portion money that you don't want to risk in something too much, Doge seems like a much safer bet than some of these low cap memes. Real quick, let's look at Tai-Chan. Do you have something to say? If not, I'm going to go ahead and mute you. Okay. This total 3, just before we move on, I want to look at Fartcoin and Solana next. Total 3 was also pretty much the same thing as total. that I was talking about how we came back and we retested the trend. And this is going back all the way to 2017, right? And we're at it again, right? So realistically, this is where we're going to be looking at this chart and be like, all right, are we going to bounce from here? Is this going to be the area that we're going to bounce from? And if we bounce, where are we looking to go? I mean, right now we're holding this range, right? So this was a range prior. We bounced here, we moved up to here, right? We came back down, we bounced here, we moved up to here. So this is a range in itself up here. This was a range below, like, right? We come down, we retest this resistance, we come back down. So we could be looking at this in ranges just in general. So just as long as we're holding above this level here, we should expect to probably come back to the top of this range, which is around a 2x on total 3. So these are the ranges I'm looking, right? Because this is a bottom of a range, this top of the range over here. This we found resistance again, under it again, and now we're above it. So minimum, we should be looking for around 1.15 trillion. But if we're going to break out above that, who knows? This could be even a much bigger cup and handle pattern than we were looking at for total 3, right? I mean, if you're looking at it like this, and say we have this being our cup and handle, right? Say this whole thing's the cup. Say this is the handle. What are you going to do when we start breaking out above this, like this, and we retest, and then we get above this? It could be a pretty explosive move. I mean, just hear me out. I'm not saying this is going to happen. But if this is true, this is the target. That's just all technical analysis based, right? Like, call me. Can you hear me now? My fucking mic died. Call me a moonboy all you want. I'm just showing pure technicals here. This is not me in my head. This is just showing you pure technicals from technical analysis. So yeah, I mean, that's just minimal, right? Not saying that's going to happen, but you can see it. All right, I want to look at, where's my notepad? One second, guys. Damn, I left it in the other room. Give me 2 seconds. All right, cool. All right, so I have Fartcoin, Solana, Ondo, AVAX. I wanted to look at those AI coins I posted in my Ponzi Alpha section of my Discord for you guys. I'll look at one of them on this stream. We'll go over the other ones in the private stream tomorrow for just the inside the Discord area. Because I don't want to give those out because they are pretty low cap. But I think they will do well. That's what I'm going to look at. Fartcoin, Solana, Ondo, AVAX. Those are some of my larger areas of holdings. Maybe look over C-Pool too. That's one I've been looking at. Well, I have, but C-Pool's been a pretty good one. And we'll go over those for starters. Maybe Sui, but we went over Sui yesterday. Let me see if anybody's requested any coins. All right. Somebody wants to look at CONL. Ooh, he knows harmonics. He said 4-hour shark and above the 50. Somebody said Fartcoin Sui. Lucky for you, those are already on my list. And then SBX 6900. What up, Murad? Alright, we're gonna go to my baby first. Everybody knows I've been a Fartcoin maxi. Alright, so we went over this yesterday. Fartcoin maxi. Why? It had attention, right? It was one of the hardest moving meme coins. It's simple. It's literally called Fartcoin. People can laugh at it. It was all over social media. It was on the news. It was in Joe Rogan's podcast where somebody brought it up and there was like, there's a coin called Fartcoin, and you just bust out laughing. You know what? Let me see if I can actually find that, and I'll stream it real quick. Let me put that on if I can.
The whole meme coin thing is bananas. It is. The whole meme coin thing is bananas. It is so bananas that people dump real money into these coins, and then you could just pump them up and sell them.
A casino or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's totally
And
gambling. And somehow or another, it's still legal.
It's sort of like you go to the casino. Like if you expect to win at the casino, you're being a fool. Okay?
Right.
I'm gonna find this, and then we'll go back into it.
You're being foolish. Yeah. Don't sink your life savings into a meme coin.
The whole meme coin thing is bananas. It is so bananas that people dump real money in.
All right, here we go. Let me know if this works for you guys, if it switches over. Did it switch or no? Awkward. I might have to just do it another day then.
You probably have to stream the browser, not the trading view, unless you're already in that. In the browser.
Motherfuckers. There? That's it. Right?
Just like some people are professional poker players.
That's exactly it. Fart coin that started up.
Oh,
that
can you?
has, it's like $1 billion
Can you text
market
me
cap.
that?
But
That's-
what I was
That's
gonna
exactly
get into.
what.
So
That's
there's
exactly it.
There's a coin called Fart coin that started up.
Oh,
that
can you?
has, it's like $1 billion
Can you text
market
me
cap.
that?
But how it was
Oh, just like some people are
He
professional
just
poker
cracks the
players.
fuck up about hearing Fartcoin. Like, that's like the most hilarious thing. I see that, and like, normal people laugh that you have a token that is literally named. Like, that's my whole thesis, like, at the beginning that was behind it. It's like, you literally have a token named Fartcoin, right? Like, how much more stupid can it get? And for somebody that's like, just not into crypto, or like they think crypto's a joke, and they hear something about Fartcoin being more market cap than fucking publicly traded companies that are legit fucking companies, and it's above the market cap of them traded on the stock market, it's funny. And people laugh at that. And it's very simple, like, to get into crypto. Like, you have to turn your brain off. More people can buy it because it is literally just so simple. It was made by AI, so it has a good thesis. All over the news. So that was basically my thesis on this thing, man. And I do think if there's going to be one runner, my bet right now, personally, would be on Fartcoin. And that's where I placed my bet. Why did I start to enter back down where I did? One, because we were going into the 886 and fill in these areas, right? So I saved money for in case we got down to this daily fair value gap here. But I did start adding around this fair value gap, which is around like 44 cents. And if you guys know, that's where I started adding. Then what really set me off is when I started to notice the bullish divergence here. So we had lower lows in price, but we had higher highs in the oscillator, which is class A bullish divergence, not hidden, because hidden divergence is when you have price forming a higher low, and then your oscillator a lower low. So it'd be slanting this way. But this is opposite. This is just regular class A bullish divergence. And this is where I really started to take it serious and add more within this. I was telling people to, like, I made a joke about it, but like at the same time, I was like, sell your fucking house and buy Fartcoin, like down here around like 20 cents. And it was a complete joke, but at the same time, I was kind of serious. I was like, and I made a joke about e-commerce. I was like, if you're in e-commerce, rotate to Fartcoin. One, because of tariffs. You're going to get hit with tariffs from China. You're not going to be able to get your cheap shirts and rebrand them and put a new name on it and a logo and sell it to people in the US for 5 times the price because it's going to be tariffed to shit. And you, as a consumer or the owner, are going to be the ones that are going to pay for that. So you're going to get fucked. I was like, rotate to Fartcoin instead. You probably would have 4x your money. You could have probably been fine. But that was a joke, but at the same time, I was serious. But you can actually see just the bullish divergences. Okay. Targets. Next target, 116. The target that I really think we're going to hit is 146. What's scary is when you look at this and you take the ghost pattern. And take it over from previous price action and you put it over where it is right now. What's it look like? It looks like it's doing the same exact fucking thing. Looks like we're doing the exact same thing we did right here that we're doing over here. And if you just visualize it, if you just look at this price action and then look at it over here, it looks very fucking similar. Now, will it do the same exact thing? Who fucking knows? But what this is showing you that is we're going to consolidate here. We might chop around a little bit, but we are going to get a move up soon. And it doesn't have to follow a fractal, you know. I use them sometimes, but they are not life or death to me. It's not like I have to trade it exactly to the fractal. I use other things that I use to line up with it. We do have this fair value gap here that could get tested again at some point. And we have one more down here. But overall, this is the strongest coin I personally think right now in crypto. I was looking at Fartcoin versus Solana yesterday with everybody. And just to show you guys Fartcoin versus Solana, we had a full 886 retrace. 886. And we're pretty much at all-time high at Fartcoin versus Solana, which means if you've traded your Solana for Fartcoin at any point, you're probably up more than you would be holding Solana. Alright. That's just me. I have to. We'll post Fartcoin. There's really not much in-depth analysis other than farts are fucking funny, hot air rises, and Fartcoin's going higher. If you want more in-depth analysis, I'm sorry. I told you guys to take all your meme coin profits or anything that you did in January and consolidate. We're all going into Fartcoin. We're going to find the winner, and we're going to hold it. All right, next. Ondo. my largest real world asset bag. Alright. As you guys know, I told you I was bidding 80 cents. You want to know what I fucking looked at today and what didn't hit? Yeah, let's zoom real in on this. You want to know where my fucking bid was to add to my long? Like right here. You want to know where we wicked to? So whoever fucking front ran me, suck my dick. Literally. Look at this shit. That was one of the ads I was going to have. I told you guys I was going to add a little bit lower too if we got it. My average entry is 73-ish. 70. I don't even know. I have to check. 73, 74, give or take this range. Just low leverage swing. This is the trade that we had set up for months. I identified this trade originally back here. We waited a couple months. The trade hit. My alerts went off. We executed the trade over here. And then now we're waiting, right? Like, now you wait. It's not much to do now. I bought my spot. Like I said, this was the last time I would ever buy Ondo. I'm not buying any more Ondo at all. I'm done. I originally started buying this shit under 20 cents when it came out. I did take some heavy profits up here around the 1618, which if you pen from high to low here, you had a harmonic pattern here, right? So like I'll go over it for you guys again. So we did have the Gartley. Went down to the 886, but the 786 was my last previous ad, right? So this was the important level. This was the Gartley pattern we had. You can see how it reversed from that zone. It did chop around a little bit. What is the Gartley final TP? If you read the books on Scott Carney's, it's 382, 618, 1618, 1618. Yeah, you're going to say, oh, you sold the top, blah, blah, blah. I just used the harmonic patterns, and I just showed you exactly what I did. High to low, 1618 extension. That should be your max TP for your Gartley. I sold a lot of my spot off. I bought a lot of my spot back. We identified this harmonic pattern, and guess what? We're running it back. We're doing it again. It's just you have to wait in between. And it's boring for a lot of people, and that's why they fucking fail at this, because they're addicted and they got to itch and take 100 trades. You don't need a lot of trades to make it. So now we're doing it again, right? My average spot entry that I added back is around 74 cents. Minimal target, $1.23. I do expect this as a bullish shark to go up to a 0.5 for a bearish 5.0 pattern. We're going to have to wait and see. But we have 1.13, 886, 1618, 0.5. Like, this is a beautiful harmonic here. So I should see at least a 0.5 from this, which is 50%. And we were looking for a retrace here. We got our retrace. I mean, that's what we were looking for, right? Even if I pulled up my old chart, you could probably see my old harmonics on the previous ones. All right, okay, so I had a bat here. These are older, right? But this is my bat. We had the weekly order block here. We saved in the mid. We held above the mid. Either way, same outcome, right? I wonder if my other chart has old shit on it too. Probably not. No, okay. This was another one I had. Same plan, 886. I think we had like a weekly fair value gap here. Is probably what I had marked. Yep. Weekly FBG here. Spacing between the candles. We tested that. I was looking for us to bounce around this area, chop around a little bit, come back down. And I drew this back here, right? Like right here. So that's pretty much what it did. I mean, now we're chopping around. Now I am looking for it to start moving up. This daily fair value gap will probably show some resistance in the short term. But I do think it's in a good spot to start moving back up, along with everything else. All right, what did we talk about? We talked about bullish divergences earlier, right? Could somebody in chat tell me what type of divergence this is right here? Just looking at, we'll simply just look at RSI. We'll minimize these. Simply just looking at RSI here. Let's go to the naked chart to make it easier for you guys. What kind of divergence is this? Is it hidden or is it just a classic divergence? And I'll even pinpoint the points for you so you can look at it. Somebody in chat on YouTube or Discord or something. What class is it? Class A, B, or C? Somebody just DM me on Discord. They said class A. They were right. It's class A, bullish divergence. Just regular bullish divergence. You have a lower low. You have a higher low on your oscillator here. That's class A bullish divergence. So you have divergence on a daily as well. You're breaking out of the downtrend with class A bullish divergence. You are not above the 50 yet, but you are looking to get above it. Your weekly RSI is still below, but this is why I say you chop, right? Once you start to break above this and you get into the bullish control zone, that is when you're going to see your larger moves, right? You break above the 50 here. You get, and I've gone over this a lot of times with you guys, it's like a football field with RSI. We're going to call the bears. Anything below 50, obviously, but if you really get below 40, that's your bearish control zone. That's where you see your largest dips. Yes, that's the area it could be oversold, but that's also the area you see the largest falls when you're below 40. You get above 60, that's when you see your largest moves up on RSI. Right? So above 60, you're in the end zone. You're in field goal potential. Like you can score. Like you're below 40, the enemy team is. So anything below 40, that's where you see the largest drops, right? So you broke below 40 here. Look at the drop that we got. You retested 40 bearish. Look, you fell. You reclaimed here. You went up. But let's say you get above your 60 into your bull control zone. You get your largest moves up, large move up. Yeah, let's delete these. Here, you got above it here. What happened? Bull control zone. Fucking massive move up. Got above it here. What happened? Bull control zone. Massive move up. Again. Right here. You get into the bull control zone. You held above 60. Massive move up. So once this does break above 60, you probably consolidate, chop upwards now. Once you get above that 60, you find this as support again. Oh. That's where you're going to get your massive move up. So for now, slow grind. Let RSI get up. That's a trigger. You find your trigger. That's when you're going to get your more impulse moves. So give it some time. Might need to chop around a little more, fill this, come back down. Maybe you put another one in. Maybe you fill this one back. Maybe you get something like this, because you do have equal lows that are forming here. So maybe they try to fuck around with you a little bit, right? Maybe they come up, they fill this fair value gap here. Maybe you get a quick little sharp move. Maybe you get another bullish divergence on like a 4 hour or an hour here. And then that's when you get your real move. That's when you're set. So maybe we come up, this comes up, we tap the 60, we reject the first time, this hits here, this comes down, you fill the fair value gap, you get a bullish divergence, and you're good to go. Alright, cool. I think that explained it pretty good for you. Alright. What did we say, Solana? Pretty sure Solana is back above that important like 117 level. Yeah, we're back above it. I don't think we completed the shark. This is also invalid now. No way, we tapped in this perfectly. Wow, right into the monthly OB there. Do we hit the midpoint of this? Yeah, this is fucking wild. I mean, Solana looks good too. Like, Solana looks great here, actually. Probably have a bullish divergence along with everything else. Again, same exact fucking thing, right? Same exact thing. I'm using the bottom of the candles here when it closes because that's what RSI uses. But there is bullish divergence there too. It is higher. That would be more close. The weekly, definitely. The weekly swept all these. But don't look for massive moves up until you break above this 50 again. You're above it on the daily, right? That's a good sign. You back tested it already too. I say we start to move up, and then in the next month or two, like that's when you'll start to see your bigger ones. But you want to start getting positioned if you're not. This was the harmonic I was looking at, just so. Whoops. Well, that was fucking shitty job to show you, but give me a sec. I was looking at this 1.13. Didn't quite fill. Wonder if Carney has any. His software has anything on this. No, we just have the 3-day bearish one that completed at 105. Look at that. He hit his harmonic optimal price. Got all the way down. maybe there's a, I don't know if we even came to the 1618 from here, because there might be. No. One 1618, it's a little bit lower. God, if we got 90 again though, that's a bid. Because that's also where that shark completed. I don't know if it happens, but that'd be a gift. I think you got pretty clear targets too on the short term here. Oh, wow. Let's put everything on for this and just see how we bounced in between the fibs. Whoops. So we're at the 0.5 from the previous cycle. Playing the golden pocket here. Also looks good. AVAX is the last one I want to look at, and then obviously do requests. Then I'm going to go to the gym. Went over this yesterday. Same thing. I still think you're going to get your 83 bucks at some point. Alright, so we'll go over this again from yesterday. Your weekly bat came up, you tested your 382, so minimum 382. Came all the way back down, you tested your potential reversal zone again down here. Now you are looking for your next move up to the 618, which 618 is up around 94 bucks. That would be T2. Obviously, there's a bearish harmonic here. This could go a little bit higher. You have your weekly order block up here, resistance. Slash supply, so I would front run, probably get out last few percent, the percent that you get emotional about. You're like, oh, I want to hit my target. I would probably just front run and get out. But we have some work to do. Like I said yesterday, I already have it marked out. We are in a bearish trend here, right? We have a lower low, a lower low, a higher low, so on, bearish market structure. I really want to see this start to turn around, and I kind of have that drawn here. I want to put in like maybe a higher low here, and then take out this next high over here, and start to reverse this market structure. And then if you get a higher low, then that would be a better sign to bid, where you'd feel more safe when the market structure turned around from bearish into bullish. That would just give me, or if you're trading it, a little bit more confidence that the coin is starting to turn around here. It has all the signs you need. You have low, you swept this low. So you do have a bullish divergence here as well. So you can actually see the bullish divergence. You have double bullish divergence on the daily, actually. So you definitely have bullish divergence on AVAX too. It's starting to look like it's going to break above. Solana usually moves and then AVAX goes after. But this looks good too. Like these are early signs of reversals, like on a higher time frame. I probably have to pull this up on deck screener. We'll do a couple deck screener tokens, and then if I need to go back, hold on, let me make sure you guys asked for stuff. Rose, somebody asked for Rose. This basically broke back down to its like IPO price. Like it's literally. I don't know any of the fundamentals of Rose anymore, but I mean, you want to break above this before anything happens. Rose Bitcoin looks like shit too. There was a harmonic here that I had, right? Might have went to like a 1618. Yeah, I don't think it can because it'd go negative. But yeah, it needed a bounce from here. This was the area it needed a bounce from, and it didn't. Once you broke past that, nothing good happened. And as we know, Bitcoin dominance is still in an uptrend. I mean, it could be setting up for a big future move, but in the future, but right now, I mean, it doesn't look too good. I don't know. I'd prefer to have my money in something not like this at the moment. Yeah, it could be bottom, but it might take a lot of time before it really picks up speed. When other things like Fartcoin could be moving faster at the moment. Is this what you were looking at? 4-hour shark. Oh wow, that's a fucking massive 4-hour. Granite shares. I don't know too much about it, but I mean, I can give you what I think it just for starters. Let's just check all time what kind of retrace we've had. So you had the 786. This was the original move up. So this one pretty much played out already, right? Down to the 1618 for the max extension for your PRZ. I think if you're going to accelerate, you can probably accelerate from the past pattern once you get back above this. $1.13. I mean, this does look fucking bottomed, right? 2.4. 2.24 usually, but he has it pinned from here, which would make sense. This would also make sense because that's like your real impulse move. I mean, this definitely looks like it's starting to reverse. I don't know too much about it though. Oh, this is Coinbase's. Oh, fuck. I'm interested now. Oh yeah, I'm fucking interested now. I mean, coin looks good. Hear me out. This looks good. Thank you. I'm writing that down actually. I'm gonna be looking at that a little harder later. And then the next stream I can go over it a little bit more with you. You're talking about FET. I was looking at all-time 886 retrace on FET. Which we fucking retested and we're like bouncing off of right now. Literally bouncing off of it like yesterday. All-time 886 from this entire cycle run up it had. I remember buying this thing at like fucking 7-8 cents this cycle. I mean, FET looks fucking great. What's the weekly look like on this? What am I doing? I mean, I think it at least goes to 87 cents from here on FET. I mean, where's your 382? It's probably higher. Yeah, $1.60. But I mean, minimum, you're going back up to probably 87 cents from here. Yeah, look, even Carney's software. Same thing. Yeah, exactly what I just did. He has the same exact pattern pretty much. Except he used the impulse move area over here, which is very valid to use. I just liked using the entire chart as the data. I mean, it looks good, dude. FET looks fucking good too. Like, you cannot argue with areas if you're buying down here. People might be scared, but you should have been fucking scared up here. After you've seen this shit. Now you see all this downwards trend and time and everything, and now people are scared. Like, I don't get it. AMD. I'll check AMD and maybe one more because I have this. This was an old trade that played. But now, I mean, this could be a potential bat, right? Higher time frame. That's fucking pretty, man. You had like a small Gartley that played out into now you have a higher time frame bat that's 4 min. When's the last time we had a bat? I mean, look at AMD over here. Like, whoever is trading this is front running the harmonics, right? They're front running the 886. Because look what happened last time. We had the 886 here, and we front ran it by 6.18% almost. I had to say that. But it got front ran last time too, so just saying. Mehmood. No, I do not trade anti-harmonics. I trade strictly Scott Carney's harmonics. I don't feel like I need to add anti-harmonics in there because I have a high success rate with regular harmonics and I'm winning my trades, so I don't need to learn something like anti-harmonics that maybe haven't have been back tested as much as regular harmonics that Scott basically created and fine-tuned from like Gartley and everybody else. I honestly just ignore them or people that trade them. And should some of it be useful? Yeah, but I don't need to add stuff into my arsenal right now. I trade like the shark and stuff like that. And I will trade the cipher every now and then, but usually when you have a cipher pattern, it's might play out short term, but most of the time it will go to a 1.13 shark because your B to D ratio is not the minimal 1.618 that is required. So if you bring it down to like the 886, your B to D won't be a 1.618, which will show you that the shark needs to actually go down to the 1.13 instead of the 886. I don't know if that makes sense for you. It's kind of high level harmonic talk. And kind of what I mean by that is like, I'll show you real quick. So say you have like this, but say your C like maybe goes higher, something like this, where this it needs to be a minimal 1618, and since it's not, this typically, some people will trade it as like a cipher, or say this is like a, I don't know, 618 or something, you know what I mean, 1.414. Say it's like this, like people would trade this as a cipher, but typically since this isn't a 1618, it does need to go down to a 1.13 to like hit that 1618 area. That makes this a more reliable harmonic for me, because I've noticed the ciphers, if you're trading it at the 786 like this, maybe you can get a small move off of it, but usually it does come back down like this and then go. So why would I want to trade the cipher more when I have a higher hit rate of just being patient and waiting for the 1.13 and just initiating my trade down here at a 1.13 and catch more of a trend? And that's just my thought process on that. Like, why? Just over time and over the years, when I have traded the cipher, I've noticed that they go down to a 1.13 because this does not meet a minimum 1618. And yes, some ciphers have worked. Like Bitcoin, like for example, Bitcoin last cycle was an entire cipher. Like this was a cipher. So I'm not saying it doesn't work, right? Like you had a cipher here. 786. So I'm not saying it doesn't work, but obviously this one you can't go down to a 1.13. You know what I mean? Like it minus $4,000. Like everybody would fuck and you get paid to buy Bitcoin. But I just find more success in my trading just waiting for the 1.13, especially if you're doing it like on a daily or a 4 hour or something like that versus like the weekly. But I'm just showing, like, yes, this did go down to a 786, and it did work from there. You know what I mean? I mean, even I'm not saying ciphers don't work either. I just prefer not to most of the time. This one was but at the same time, you see what I mean, right? We came to 786 there. This was back in like 2008 crash. But the way I look at it, I mean, just simple fibs too, with that type of stuff. Like, just like, obviously this was a pretty clear impulse area, and just take your fib to it and like look at the 786. I think most of the time with these large macro moves, you do come down to a 786 minimum, and that's when you're like, okay, game on. I'll post it, FX, in announcements for the YouTube link. I am gonna cut this one. I'll probably be back on tonight. If I can get at least 5 people to confirm that they'll hang out in Discord, I'm not gonna stream live tonight, but I will hang out in the Discord and I'll go live tonight. I just finished my pre-workout and I think it's time to go. It went a little longer than expected, but I figured that would happen. But I gotta head over to the gym, and I will probably stream tonight, and I'm definitely gonna stream again tomorrow. So if you guys want to come, I'm probably gonna be doing most of the streaming in the private section of the Discord tomorrow because I am gonna look for some low time frame trades for people. But I'll probably do like a 20-30 minute overview again, or take requests on Twitter and YouTube, and just stream in Discord. So if you guys want to chat in Discord while I do it, I can give you guys what I see. And if you have any questions or anything, let's do that. But we're going to be doing more streams. I'm looking to do 4 to 5 a week minimum. And then obviously I'm going to be trying to hang out more in the private area of the Discord and going live in there as well. And tomorrow we'll probably do a giveaway on stream with free access to the Discord too if you guys want. So thanks everybody. I'm going to head out. Feel free to reach out in the public section of the Discord if you have any questions or anything as well. Or open a ticket. Or message me on Twitter. Either one.